everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again for another installment of Taste from Home. I'm Christina Sleeper, and this is my home kitchen in Los Angeles. So thank you so much for being here again. Wow, you got the grooves going on in the background there, Mark. That's really good. Anyway, guess what, everyone? It's almost summertime, and check me out. I've got my Princess Poppin hat, and I am ready to put together an awesome picnic. If you don't recognize this hat off the top of your head, you can Google it and just put in Princess Straw Hat, and I think it'll show up. I was so excited to pick this up the other day because, one, I love hats. I love fedoras. I think if you know me, you know that. But two, in the summertime, if you're going outside for a picnic, in addition to having delicious food, you need the proper dressing. So whether it's a hat or a bathing suit or whatever, you need that. So I'm gonna take this off for now and set it aside. But thank you so much for joining me today because yeah, it's almost summertime, and well, I'm sure I've mentioned this many times in the past, but if you just look at the weather for Los Angeles, especially after watching the weather nationally for this week with heat waves here, rain there, it's been an epic week of weather. And where I live, it's kind of like a little microclimate, and I know it's almost it's easily the middle going towards the, the 2/3 part of June, but I'm in this little bubble where I am lucky to get sunshine by the middle of the afternoon. So I actually, love this time of year because it's a little bit on the cool side, and it makes it a little difficult to enjoy a beach picnic, especially if you wanted to go out and grab an Instagram of the sunset. But it makes for a wonderful time to go up into our local mountains, go to a park, or even just hang out in your own backyard. So today, I'm going to be sharing some popping picnic recipes because summer, the actual start of summer, is on Tuesday, but tomorrow is Father's Day and also Juneteenth. We're in the middle of Pride Month. The kids are all done with school. There's graduations, there's celebrations all around, and I think there's no more fun way to get together with, whether it's just your love, like Mark and I, or, with, a group of friends or family. I think a picnic is the definite answer to all of your dining solutions in the summer. So I'm going to be showing you some recipes that I made in advance, but super easy, and we're going to be making some recipes together today, and then I'm going to be putting them together with a couple little store-bought items. So don't think I'm going all Martha Stewart on you, and you're going to have to spend epic amounts of time to put together this picnic. I really think that you could easily do it in less than an hour, and I'm going to show you how. So if you want to picnic along with me today, you're going to need a few ingredients. You're going to need some zucchini. You're going to need a sweet onion, if you have it, like a Maui or a Vidalia. And you're going to need some Persian cucumbers, almonds, preferably slivered or chopped. You'll need some fresh mint. You'll need some lemon, olive oil, some seasonings. Today I'm going to be using my Pure Paleo, Fowl, and Herbs of Summer, along with a couple of our different salts. And then you're going to need some fruit. I suggest something very berryish, like strawberries or raspberries, but if you have something else around, like a fresh plum or apples or even bananas, you can use that too, along with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of flour, and some jam. I've got my citrus blues right here with me, and we're going to be playing with this a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get cooking. I hope you all are great out there. I can't really see. I see a couple people joining back there on Instagram, and you're a little bit farther back today. So I'm going to just waving and joining, and that's so fun. And people are saying good morning. I can read that. I can't see what's happening here on Facebook, but Mark will let me know if any comments or people show up, because I know that
Elaine's here, and Melanie Binkley.
Hi Elaine. Hi Melanie. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And I want to say, you know, it's so great to have people right along live with me here, but this exists into the ether. You can watch it anytime you want on Facebook. But my lovely executive of marketing and social media is actually migrating all of our episodes, and she's editing them to YouTube. And so she got my very first episode up the other day. So Mark, you know, if you want to link it, or if you want to just go to Sleepers Gourmet YouTube channel and follow us there, that would be so great, because I am so proud of Lydia. Shout out to Lydia, #1 favorite daughter in the whole world. Okay, so I said that we were going to get starting, and I wanted to show you something that I created that in advance. It took only a couple of minutes, but it needed a little bit of time to set. Let's see, I have it right here. Needed a teeny little bit of time to set, so I decided to do it in advance so it would look really pretty on camera. But look at this, people. Can you see that out there? Okay, what this is a fresh beet hummus. It is delectable. Every component of it I made from scratch, including the tahini paste. And I got the recipe from a new customer. I hate using the word customer, more like friend, because, you know, we chat on Twitter a lot. And he's here in Los Angeles, and he is Lebanese. And he has, in addition to his regular work, a passion for sharing his mother's hummus recipe. So it's on his Twitter page, maybe even he has it on his Instagram. It's Danny Del Rainey's Mama's Hummus, I think, something like that. I follow it. And he shares the recipe. Here it is, right here. And it is so simple, but he is kind of like an evangelist, that if you're going to eat hummus, don't eat that store-bought stuff, because he says it's not authentic. And you know what? I have to agree, because one of our favorite carry-out foods is Mediterranean or Lebanese. So this recipe is actually really, really close. And if I want hummus, since I've known him for about 2-3 years, I make it. It just takes a can of beans and a few other ingredients. And you know, I did take the liberty of you know, kicking up Mom's recipe a notch, because I thought with Juneteenth and the tradition of red foods being served for this celebration, I thought, you know, this was a great way to add a little dash of red to a Juneteenth celebration, along with a kick up of vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants, etc., etc., because beets are really good for you. So yeah, look at this. It's got such a nice body. It's smooth, it's creamy, and I'll tell you one thing. of course, Mark's probably going to link to Danny's mom's recipe, but Lydia made a wonderful reel of how I actually made this hummus, and she'll be sharing it later on our socials. So look on Instagram, look on Facebook, look, wherever, Twitter.
Where would I find the recipe to share?
Danny's recipe. So if you go to his Twitter page, Danny Del Rainey.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And you might have to use your Apple F because of hummus. That's so good. I love that garlic. I love the creaminess. And, I really think that the key component, aside from kicking it up with the beets, is fresh tahini paste. And it's so easy to make. So this is ready. And, my picnic today is for two. And if you'll notice, this little container right here for an appetizer is the perfect amount for two people, I think, because, a picnic is kind of like theater. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's the end or the grand finale. And every little component that you have in a picnic, you want it to be just so delectable, and you want it to leave you wanting just a little bit more, but you don't want to get stuffed. You just want to be in this place of just, satisfaction and contentment, and, just feeling like you are really enjoying every bite, and the food is one part of that picnic, but whoever you're with, you're engaging with, you're connecting. Your phones are set aside, the television's off, maybe you just have a little nice music, and that's what I think we all really need right now, is more of connection time. So to me, that's what picnics are. So whether you're getting out there for Father's Day or Juneteenth or Pride, you have lots of time to celebrate. So we've got our little opening all created, and I will probably cut, to go with that, some carrots, or add some fresh veggies, whatever you might have around.
And the recipe's up.
Cool.
I just linked to his Twitter post.
Great. So Mark's got it up, and use that recipe. But, of course, traditionally you would have this with pita or crackers or chips. This adds another extra veggie kick, and it's delicious. So we've got our opening, and we're intrigued. We're ready to learn more and move more into this. So I gotta chew this up. Yum. It's so good. Mark's reminded me on the side here about, as an actor, when you have to eat on camera, oftentimes you have to do hundreds of takes, and you have to take a delicious bite. And I was, back in the day, in my heyday, I guess I'll say, my salad days as an actor, I was really booked all the time with Procter & Gamble. And I was one of their expert Folger sniffers. I was perfect with the Tide. I could use the Pampers, all of the products. And there were different little nuances and little gestures that you had to just absolutely perfect. And anyway, I thankfully and luckily got to do that a lot, and it was really a fun, exciting time. I bet I made 50, 100 commercials for Procter & Gamble back in the day, all their different products. But one commercial that I did one time, I think it was for Kroger, which is our local Ralph's. And we did this commercial. It was called Seafood You Love. And I had to go and look and give that look all across the front of the seafood counter. And then I selected, for whatever reason, fried catfish that was already fried and in the seafood you love. It was in the 90s, kids. It was a different food time. But anyway, I had to continually take bites of this fried catfish. It was not hot, and it was a lot. And so I had what they call a dump bucket right next to me, and I would take my bite, do my beautiful yum, and then spit it out. And I have to tell you, that was probably easily, I think it was 92, 93, so almost 30 years ago, and I have not had fried catfish since, so sometimes that happens. But moving along to our main course, or the great middle of our production here. And I want to ask you, do you zoodle? Do you like to play with your vegetables? Well, if you like to play with vegetables like me, and as you can see, I love vegetables, you're going to love this main course recipe, because it's a riff on pasta with fresh veggies, and it comes together super easy, super quick, with just a few key ingredients.
I'm going to post the ingredients.
Oh, great, yeah. And I want to say this. I made this recipe probably 8-10 years ago. And I used to do these old school things where I would create a JPEG, like a photo of the recipe, and share it on our Facebook. It's still there somewhere. So I don't know how to find all of our recipes that are there, honey, but I don't know, maybe if you can.
What recipe?
I have the zucchini tagliatelli recipe. It's on Facebook. It's already there.
From a long time ago?
From a long time ago.
From the JPEG?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in our it's
on Facebook.
Yeah, in our photos. Okay. So, to make this salad, you're going to need some zucchini, you're going to need Persian cucumbers, you're going to need a sweet onion, you're going to need a little bit of vinegar, and you're going to need some lemon, you're going to need some olive oil, and you're going to need about a half a cup of slivered almonds. Now, I'm going to start by putting my slivered almonds into my toaster oven. And, oh, they're done. Yay. Voila, we're going to just set these aside and then get going with our zucchini. Now, this recipe, I tell you, it's kind of like pasta. So what you have here is a tagliatelli. And a tagliatelli is a wide noodled pasta. Look at this.
That's zucchini.
This is zucchini.
Sliced to look like.
Sliced to look like pasta. So these beautiful little ribbons are going to become the basic base of our salad. Now, if you don't have a mandolin like me, let's make sure we can see this. Oh, great. Oh, look at that. My lovely assistant. Thank you, darling. Okay, so be really careful if you have a mandolin. But if you don't have a mandolin, you could do this with a knife, or you could even, as I mentioned, zoodle. I have this little zoodle thing. Let's find it. Look at this. You could actually just make spiralized noodles, so they would be more like, I guess, zucchini spaghetti or something like that. But I personally love the way these ribbons come out, because they really absorb the flavors of the lemon and the mint and the onion and everything else. So, that was nice of you, honey. the last thing we need is a bloodbath, right? I'll move you down a little bit too. Cool. That's good. Right? No bloodbaths. Okay. So, next, what we need to do is chop up this this onion. Now, this is a sweet Maui onion. I didn't get the dahlias.
I can do that for you.
Oh, no, I've got it right here, honey. It's no problem. I can do it while I'm chatting. This is a Maui onion. Now, say you want to make this salad and you don't want to, you know, run out to get a special ingredient. You could actually do this recipe with a regular white or red onion, but you're going to have to do a little
Is there a technique
something else
to make it sweet?
Yeah, there is a technique. What you're going to have to do is chop it and then put it in a bowl with vinegar and a little bit of salt, and let it set aside for, you know, the time that you're doing your prep of your zucchini. And what happens is the vinegar neutralizes the bitter taste of the onion and kind of gives it a pickled quality, and it's so much more palatable. So, you know, just keep that in mind.
For a salad.
Yeah, for a salad. If you don't want to run out and get the, you know, the special onion like I'm using today, but I love it. I don't buy sweet onions that often, and this just smells so good. Hopefully it won't make me cry seeing I just put it up so close to my face. Yeah, so you're just going to chop this up.
I think that's for a different salad. Those are your cucumbers.
Oh, sweet. No, that's for this salad, honey.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Did you use the mandolin for that too?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The mandolin, I have to tell you, if you do not have one, it is one of the most handy little dandy tools that you can have in your kitchen.
And you will cut yourself at least once.
You will. And that, you know, that's why I thank Mark for saving me today, because that would be twice for me if I was cutting everything today. But anyway, look them up, pick one up. They're not that expensive, less than, you know, probably $30 for most of them.
Oh, can I just comment?
Yeah.
Like the really good professional ones
Yeah.
are upwards of $300 or $400.
Oh, sure.
But you can buy a perfectly serviceable one. I don't know. I'll look it up while you're talking.
Right. And unless you're going to be using it every day, you don't need to have one that is $300-400. So I've got a bowl, so you're going to be able to see what I'm doing here. And I just cut about a cup of onion. I'm going to put it in the bowl. Set my...
Oh yeah, you can get a lot of them for $30.
That's what I thought. And some really... Well, I mean, I think that when we thought that this one needed to be replaced, I looked it up a while ago.
I see.
But anyway. All right, so we've got about a cup of onion. And we have about a pound of the slivered, or not slivered, the mandolin ribboned is the word, not slivered, ribboned zucchini. We're going to put that in here. It's so beautiful. And the thing about zucchini is it's like a little sponge. It will pick up the flavors that you add to it. So it's really, really good that way. Yum. Okay. Then we're going to add Persian cucumbers. Now, if you don't know, let's see, did I put Persian cucumbers out or did you just chop them? Did I? I don't. Oh, here we go. You know, these have been on the scene now, like regularly available. I get them all the time in Los Angeles from the farmer's market, or these are Costco. I picked up the other day when I was there. But they are delicious, delectable little cucumbers, and they are used in salads. They make an excellent Greek salad. I sometimes will cut them up and use them with my Beet hummus or any other dip, but they are really delicious. So if you have not bought Persian cucumbers and you're still using the waxy, thick-skinned English variety, go and look for them because they're really good. Okay, so now we're going to add some Persian cucumbers. And my recipe says 3 to 4 cucumbers. How many did you put here, honey? I wasn't watching.
3 to 4.
3 to 4? Okay. You know what? I like that. Yeah. So we're going to put this in. And you can, you know, he did it with the mandolin because the mandolin was out. And I like it actually, but you could chop it or you could slice them. You could do whatever you want with them, the way you want to cut them. But I like these little bits that he created here. Okay. Now, what we're going to need is we're going to have to mix this together a little bit just to get these 3 main vegetables just kind of moving around on each other. Okay. And then once I add my acids and oils, it's going to move even more. But I just want to get them moving a little bit. No, it's good. It's good. Okay, so now I need to get some lemon peel. And I want to tell you kids, if you don't do this already, you need to start. Where is it? Oh, here it is. You need to start doing this. Whenever I peel a lemon, I actually, or actually juice a lemon, I typically peel it in advance, and then I freeze my lemon peels so that later I can just chop them up and add them to a recipe. Now, when it's frozen, it cuts really easy. And this table is just so wobbly. I'm just afraid over there. But I'll be back in a second, kids. We move things around so much when we're doing the show, and then I am working in an area that's sometimes just not completely the way I work. I typically, you know, work over here on the counter, but it's nice sometimes to get even closer up and be able to show you things. Okay, so this could easily be like chopped and diced. If you were using a fresh lemon, I'm going to show you the difference here, because you need about the zest from about 1 large lemon or 2 small lemons. So look, I have my little bit, and it's like little bits of zest that I've cut up, throwing those in. Okay, but you can easily, because we're going to juice this, you know, just grate this right in there. And my lemons, these are little, oh, they're not Eureka's. Well, oh, these are Lisbon lemons from a local farmer here. And so they're nice and cute and small. They're not as big as what you see in the grocery store, because the grocery store typically stocks Eureka lemons, but these have a really nice flavor, and they're small, and I don't know, they're kind of like single serving size lemons. I like them. See? So look, it's almost about the same. Depending on what grater you use, you're going to get the same kind of chop. So, you know, I got that one there. I'm going to add a little bit more of this. I personally love lemon. I think it brightens everything. So I'm going to add my grated lemon that was frozen and let it thaw out in my little bowl. Perfect. Okay, now to this, as I said, I'm going to be adding the juice of probably 2 of these little lemons. Typically I would say the juice of 1 lemon, because it would be, you know, like roughly you need about 1 1/2 tablespoons. But I think I'm going to need 2 because of how small this little guy is. Turn off my toaster oven because I don't think I need anything right now.
I need it, but it's one.
What kind of, oh. Yes, it did. Hey, honey, you know, tomorrow's Father's Day. And, you know, we have our one and only, your darling girl, is not going to be here. So, you know, she said to me, hey, Mom, what are you going to do for Father's Day with Dad? And I really thought when I planned this picnic show that I was going to be taking you on a picnic last night because of getting those tickets to the Greek theater. But then we realized that it's not the same as the Hollywood Bowl. But oh my gosh, was it fun? Wasn't it fun to get outside? And
it was great. Listen to Lyle Lovett.
Oh my gosh, Lyle Lovett.
And Chris Isaac.
And Chris Isaac.
I think he's related to Isaac. Isaac. Who's that? Isaac.
Isaac Hayes?
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
he's his son.
Yeah, they're brothers from another mother is what I hear. But anyway, you need to think about what you want to do for Father's Day, because you know, we can do what you want. Okay, so I've mixed the lemon in there. I think it needs just another little half. Are you hungry?
I'm looking at the recipe board.
Oh. So we've got the lemon, and now I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Where is that guy?
She's in the canoe with Popeye.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh my God, is it time for dad joke time?
It's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day. Let's see, kids, if I have to get my bottle out. Oh my gosh, I thought it was 2 tablespoons. Dang, I'm good. I'll get some more out later. Okay, so we've got the olive oil, and I'm going to give this a little sprinkle of salt, maybe about a teaspoon. I'm using our Pacific Blues. I was going to use, and I have in the past when I've made this for girlfriends, used our super smoky salt. But because it's Father's Day, and I know my man is not the biggest fan of smokes.
Just not in a salad.
You like it on some things, like maybe more like meats and things like that. But I love it in salad dressing. So, you know, check out our salts online, because we've got sal de fume, which is a lighter smoked flavor, and it is it's a Chardonnay oak barrel that is used for the smoking in a fleur de sel. So it is exquisite, but then super smoky is my jam. It is so smoky. It's 6 different woods, and
you know, I
really
remember when Lydia was younger, and we were having Father's Day dinner together, and she said, "Dad, you're the boss in our family, right?" And you know, I remember I told her, I said, "Yes, my little princess." And then Lydia said to me, "That's because Mommy put you in charge, right?"
Yes, she did. That's right, because everyone knows who's the boss, right? Okay, so I'm just putting some fresh cracked pepper into this, along with the lemon juice and the olive oil, and I'm going to toss it about. Now, this salad needs to take a little bit of time to meld, because that's what's going to sweat the water and the juice out of the zucchini. But it's looking really, really good. Let me give it a little taste. It's just lemony enough. I get that back hit of tang. It's got enough salt for right now. I can adjust it, but I'm going to add my nuts. Now, it gets about a half a cup of nuts. And Mark actually toasted these in advance for me. What? He toasted these in advance for me, and do that, because every time you toast your nuts, rather than just using them right out of the bag, it just releases their oils and their flavors and gives such a great additional element to a dish. So I'm going to toss my nuts in here, and then I think I need to just add my my fresh mint. And for this recipe, you need about 1.5 cups of chopped fresh mint. So I'm going to do that really quick here. I washed this in advance, and so I'm going to just do like ribbons. I do ribbons of my mint, and you can see, because they wilt. Everything wilts, and you don't want it to be so small that you can't really taste it. So, you know, bunch it together and, you know, ribbon it when you cut it. You know, keeping careful not to let the stems get into the salad. Because sometimes they can be really hard. And I can, you know, sometimes if I get to the bottom like this, I'll pull these last little bits of leaves off to avoid this. You do not want this in your salad, kids.
Stems?
No stems.
No stems.
No stems. Clean your mint like you would your marijuana. No stems. Does anybody do that anymore? Now I just really dated myself. People used to do that. They used to that used to be like the thing people like to do. I'm not a smoker, so I don't really have much experience with it, but, you know, Cheech and Chong movies, they talk about it. It's like a joke. No stem, man.
Seeds.
Seeds, no seeds. Oh, that's what it is, not stems. See, I don't even know. Okay. All right, so that's it of my mint. Let me finish cutting this. Ooh, if you see a big one before you throw it in the salad, grab it out. Definitely don't want it. And again, with you know, with cutting anything, especially an herb, you really release the oils, and so this is another element that gets added to the flavor. So it's about 1.5 cups. Putting it in slow just to make sure if I did have any mint or any stems, get them out before I toss it, because I just don't like, especially when you're on a picnic, you don't want to have to like pick through things. You want it to just be like a perfect little bite. So, you know, I see a couple, I'm getting them out. Voila. I'm going to toss it again. And this salad, okay, this is our main course. If you want to just have a vegetarian event, vegan even, this salad is all you need. Add a little bit of bread, add some crackers, add some rolls, and you are having a perfect vegetarian feast. But what I'm going to do after this salad melds a little bit, I'm going to put it in little containers, because this is one of the things that is, you know, just so important with picnics. Ooh, we could do this one, honey, for later. Nope, I don't know where the other one is. Okay, we'll use this. I'm going to do, for serving really easy, these little plastics, because they are stackable, and this is about the right size for one person. And what I'm going to do to kick it up for us, because we like our protein, I'm going to add some ready-made chicken. And you know, this is a roasted chicken from the store, and I'm going to slice it really nice and thin, and I'm going to put about 4 ounces on each one of our little salad bowls, and that's going to be our entree. How's that sound, honey? Pretty good? Look at that, everyone. Look at how beautiful this looks. We'll come back and check that in a little bit. The flavors are just delightful. All right, so we've got our main course done. We've created our intro appetizer, and now it's time for a grand finale. And you know, I don't know about you guys, but when I picnic, you know, I think that you have to have a little bit of everything. You have to have a little bit of salt, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of tang, and this little dessert, I'm going to show you because I made one in advance. You're not going to believe it. This is a cobbler that comes together in just about 2 minutes. Individual servings. So we're going to take them on our picnic, but let me tell you, if you're wanting a little treat, and you're all home alone and you don't want to go crazy, you can make this cobbler and satisfy your sweet tooth in about 5 minutes. You're really not going to believe it. Before I get going with that, though, I'm going to make some whipped topping really quick. Now, I have my container for my whipped cream here, and I've had it in the refrigerator. Where's the cream? Let's see. Oh, duh. Of course, I left the creamer out for a minute. Anyway, I'm going to add my cream to my little NutriBullet. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar. Now, today I have to let you know that I'm experimenting, and shock of all shocks, I didn't have any heavy whipping cream in the house, but I had coconut cream. So we're going to make a coconut whipping cream to go on top of our cobbler today. Put about a teaspoon and a half of sugar in it. Not really getting thick yet.
Leave it on for a little longer.
Yeah, I think so.
It might not work.
Okay, well, I might have to run out after the show and get some whipping cream, but we'll play with this later.
It's really good with whipped cream on top of it.
It is really good with whipped cream or ice cream, but it's really hard to take ice cream on a picnic. So here's what you're going to do, kids. Let me set my salad aside. And let me get a clean cutting board so you can see. Okay, great. For this recipe, you're going to need 1/4 cup of flour. You're going to need to microwave and melt 1 tablespoon of butter. I'll do that right now. It may take 30 seconds. It may take a little bit less. Yep, it will take a little bit less because it was previously melted. Takes about 10 seconds if you've previously melted it. Yep. See? All melted, 10 seconds. You're going to need some milk. You're going to need some nuts. I also pre-toasted pecans this morning, but you can use any kind of nuts you like. You're only going to need about a tablespoon. So almonds, peanuts, walnuts, hazelnuts. Pepitas would be salty, but why not? Give it a try. And you're going to need about a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Or I'm sorry, baking powder. Oops. Oops, Aladdin.
They're not the same.
They are not the same. If you use baking soda, you actually have to add another ingredient. You can use them to get leavening and rise in your dough, but baking powder does it without any extra push. So I'm going to use this little bowl that you see right here. I'm going to pour my quarter teaspoon of flour in there. I'm sorry, quarter cup of flour, quarter teaspoon of baking powder, and then about a teaspoon of sugar, maybe 2. You could do less if you want. And I'm going to add a teeny little shake of our PS Love. Just a little. I mean, this is small. This is actually going to make 2 mini desserts from this little container of flour. Okay, so I've got that. And then I'm going to add my butter, which is 1 tablespoon. And then my milk, which is 2 tablespoons of milk. And I'm going to mix this together until it makes like a nice little batter. Literally that quick. Maybe you've seen these things in the grocery store, these cakes in a cup or brownies in a cup and stuff like that. Well, they're pretty interesting. I actually did a TikTok reel on them last year when I first was noticing them. But look, that's all together. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of nuts. Because I love when I have a cobbler to have a little bit of crunch. And I mean, this thing is really the most berry-licious quickie cobbler that you're going to ever believe you're going to have. Okay, so check that out. That's all done. Now, because we're going on a picnic, we're going to use a couple great little jars that I can put lids on. And if you can see here in the background, I've got my basket. I've got a collection of baskets, but you know, sometimes we just use this one and then we'll use a refrigerated small cooler for the rest of the items. And anyway, so it works out great for us. But keep that in mind, because the other thing that is so important with picnics is food safety. So you have to keep your cold items cold, your warm items warm, and separated, because you don't want to get any special guests like bacterias. So it's really, really important. And I could do a whole show on just, you know, food safety, but I'm not going to do that today.
What was the other show you were thinking about doing that you were going to talk about today?
Oh, my upcoming, I thought, because Lydia may be here and she loves Harry Potter so much, that I would do a potions class. And I would share more information on on potions and components that are the base, like for example, the tahini paste that I talked about earlier, or syrups, because I've been doing so much with syrups in my drinks and things like that. I just thought it would be fun. And you know, I would like to just say, if you are not on our mailing list, please get on our mailing list, because you know, you'll find out about the different things that I'm doing a little bit more in advance, and that way, if you're interested, you could you know, actually put it into your calendar. Okay, so you need about a half a cup of fruit for this recipe for 2. And so what I have is a combination of berries, and I'm going to chop them right into the little cups. It's really amazing how much flavor you can get out of just a little bit of beautifully ripened berries. And you know, of course, it's the season, and depending on where you are, you've got strawberries, you've got cherries, plums, apples. We've got peaches coming in here in California, nectarines. So you know, play with it. But it's a half a cup of fruit, and you know, of course, I'll put this up on the website later. You can just leave a heart in the comments that you really want me to do that, because I've been so busy and recovering lately that I kind of lose track of the things that I need to do. So yeah, do that and let me know. So you know, I'm cutting these into the little cups, and then I'm going to take my fork and I'm going to macerate them ever so slightly, because that will help them really release their juices. And move them along in the most magical cooking. I guess this could be like a potion. I mean, kids would love this. If I was still a Girl Scout leader, I mean, we used to make cobblers over the campfire, s'mores, all kinds of things. But I think that kids would really love that. I'm going to put a little bit more in. One more. And look, my strawberries are the perfect size. They're so big that I literally am cutting half a berry into each one, and it's making so much of an impression. So it's perfect. Okay, so now that these are macerated, see how easy was that? We are going to add a little bit of sauce. Now, if you know anything about making cobbler, you know that typically you cook your fruit component over the stove, and then you put it in your big pan, and then you top it with your cobbler or your dough. Well, because this is going to be ready in a minute with the microwave, we're moving things along and using our citrus blues sauce. And that's what I think makes this so very delicious. I'm adding a teaspoon of citrus blues to each one of here.
So that gives you your like pre-cooked.
Yeah. So this is like magic here. And then I mix it together. Mix, mix, mix. And then what I'm going to do is take my cobbler and put half of it in one and put it down, push it down just ever so slightly, and the other half into the other, and then here's where the magic happens. Okay, check that out. See, you have your little topping, you have your fruit. We're going to go into the microwave. 30 seconds, kids. see how this tastes. You know, cobbler, of course you can put ice cream, you can put whipped cream, you can put a whipped topping, again if you're vegan. You could pour a little creme fraiche or even just a little bit of cream. This, I think, it's interesting. It's my little mistake, but guess what? It's almost like, a vegan creme anglaise, because you could make creme anglaise and you could do all the steps. Trust me, look it up. It'll take you about a half hour, 45 minutes. Or you could take a scoop of ice cream and slowly melt it, and you will have a perfect instant creme anglaise. But if you don't have ice cream like me, or whipping cream like me today, I had coconut cream and I just added a little bit of sugar to it because I already have this sweetener here. It is actually pretty good. Let's check our cake. Okay, so after 30 seconds, you want to check. Every microwave is going to be different. It's not quite set. It still feels kind of wet. So I'm going to put it in for another 30 seconds and see what happens. I found when I do these in the past with my oven, it takes about, or my microwave, it takes about 90 seconds, like three turns of 30. But we'll see where we're at today. This salad, as you can see, it's starting to really break down because the salt is helping the zucchini release its juices. It's going to be so good in a couple hours once it's chilled. Ooh, look, and it puffs up, kids. Let me hold this. I have witch fingers. That's the reason I'm going to do a potions class, but, okay, can you see that? It's puffed up. It's almost set. I'm going to let it go for another 15 seconds. We'll watch. Ooh, perfect. Oh, it was puffing up. I wish I could have had the camera in there. Look at this. Look at this. It's nice and firm. I'm going to let it sit for a minute and then I'm going to show you how firm it is. But can you see inside there? Okay, it's maybe not golden brown like you would get if you did it in your oven, but we're going to be putting ice cream or whipped cream or coconut cream or something on top, and so it's not going to be bad. Let's just set that aside and do the other. Hot. I'm adding 30 seconds to the 15 that I had sitting there. In case you're wondering, playing along with me today. And, gosh, where are we at? Oh, we can start talking about beverages for our picnic. Now, when you're picnicking, you know, it's so simple. You could just start with champagne, right? I don't have any chilled right at the second because I pulled my chilled bottle out when I set them up in the back, but you know, you cannot go wrong at any picnic with a bottle of bubbles. I'm going to put this in so it's chilled later. However, something else that would be just so nice and light with this picnic would be a nice crisp glass of rosé. Or you can even add a really, you know, nice white wine. I love the whites from New Zealand, the Marlborough region. And if you have not tried any of those Sauvignon Blancs, oh, you have to get them. They're in all price ranges now, from like $10 to $40, but they are so delicious. This one's a little wet, but that was 45 seconds, remember, so I'm going to add another 30 seconds. So yeah, and I want to say this. Say you're not in the mood for alcohol right now. Say you're going to have a lot of kids along with you. You could add bubbles for the kids with sparkling water and an easy pink lemonade. I made this lemonade kind of pink with the addition of my hibiscus syrup. So that's what added the sweetener, and that's what gave it this little bit of pink. And you could add like 2/3 of that. Even for the kids, I mean, you know, make it fun. Get little stemless champagne flutes, and, you know, fill it up for the kids and let them have a little festive fun with you. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, that is set perfectly. Let me set you out of the way. That is set perfectly. It's really hot. The thing about these that is so great, of course I'll clean up the lid, but look at this. You just cannot, you can't beat it. You have room inside to add your cream or your ice cream or your whipping cream later. But for traveling, put the lid on and look at how cute that is. It's so festive. Isn't that cute, honey?
That's beautiful.
All right. And it's hot. So I want to say that it's hot. And depending on when you're having your picnic, it will be probably closer to room temperature, because being a microwave bake, it's going to cool off pretty quick. But that being said, don't put your lid on until you're ready to pack up your basket completely, because that steam will, you know, cause other science things to happen, which are not going to be delicious. It'll get kind of rubbery.
It's probably better to leave the lid off, cool it, and then take it and just eat it chilled.
Yeah, or chilled or room temperature. You could either way. If you're doing a picnic in the backyard, you could whip these up really quick. But I mean, look at that. 2 beautiful desserts in less than 5 minutes. So today's picnic, to just summarize it, you know, I made the hummus in advance, and I added the beets. Now, if you didn't want to add beets, I think roasted carrots would be a delicious addition, or you could just use Danny's mom's recipe as it is. This salad here, the Tagliatelli, it is weeping perfectly with its juices, and it's going to be nice and chilled. You'll want to definitely put this in the refrigerator for an hour or 2, or if you make it today and you want to serve it tomorrow for any of the celebrations that are tomorrow, it'll be really nice and chilled. You could add, as I'm going to, chicken, or you could even get a ready-made, all the grocery stores have like salmon. You could pick up salmon. You could pick up chilled shrimp if you want to add like a little bit of festivity, and that adds another nice little element to it. With the pesto, of course, you can add tortilla chips, you can add pita chips, you can do what I'm doing, green beans. I'm going to be doing these little, I'm going to be making some scoops out of our little mini peppers. I've mentioned in past shows how much I love these little mini peppers. And they're perfect for picnics, because you just chop their tops off and you clean them out, and they're a perfect vehicle for enjoying any kind of dip. Then, of course, we have our dessert. and, you know, options of beverage. The most important thing, I would say, at this point is to be thinking of safety and your location, because that is everything with putting together your basket. And whether you're using a beautiful little basket like me, or you're going to just keep it in grocery bags, you just have to really put safety first and make sure it's easy to transport. Now, I've got a couple little plates that are going to go with us with our plastics because it's helpful. And yeah, add then whatever you want, the other little items that you might want. A loaf of bread, some crackers. Maybe you want to have a cheese element. Add a chunk of brie, and take the rest of your jar of citrus blues or one of our other jams and serve it with the the cheese and the crackers. But I wanted to show you this. I'm almost done for today, and I found this on my my shelf. I've had this for I don't know how long. I collect old cookbooks, but I think it's so cute. This was look at these people. Look at this. Can you see that? This is like a Fun with Dick and Jane picnic book. Better Homes and Gardens, and Happy Father's Day, honey. I'm not going to make you work. He said the one thing he didn't want to do was work, and I said, oh, okay, we can do that. You don't have to grill. Let's see, where's the date in this book? It's got to be, how elegant is that? Can you see that out there? She is having a spread out and serve basket theater party picnic, just like I said. Look, all picnics are productions, and they're going to be having a fruit toddy. Frozen orange juice, pear nectar, bitters, and bourbon. That sounds really good, doesn't it, honey?
Delicious.
Yum. Anyway, that's pretty much our show for today. I want to just say, please visit our website at sleepersgourmet.com. If you're not on our mailing list, please just sign up for our mailing list, because then you find out about, our upcoming events and our sales that are happening. We actually have a very special summer sale that we're going to be sending our email out about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So, watch for that. Visit our blog. We've got lots of other great picnic recipes from past shows and, almost 15 years of being Sleepers Gourmet there. And let us know what some of your favorite dishes are and how you really like to picnic, where and when and with who, because we really want to celebrate that with you. So on that note, I'm going to just say goodbye for now.